What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy Roddy Rod, back with the Roddy Rod Show. This video, this one is about some recent events between Memphis and the police officers, the three police officers who were just acquitted of the death of Tyre Nichols. Now, on January 27th, five officers viciously beat to death 29-year-old Tyre Nichols on January 10th. The video was released on the 27th. I'm sorry. Police officers delivered at least two kicks, two baton strikes, and five punches to Tyre Nichols' face, the video shown. Now, if y'all seen the video, you know it just seemed to be clear cut. It seemed to be obvious what happened. Because for the way that they beat him, he was handcuffed. I think they even maced him. I'm pretty sure I remember them macing him a time. Uh They were holding him up, punching him. He was just unconscious. He was just kind of hanging on, and they was just taking shots. Then a guy, you see him come in, like they say, with the baton. He's just hitting him with the baton, and he ended up dying. Y'all probably seen the pictures of him in the hospital. His face was swollen up. He was on the machines, and it was just a bad situation. And like I said at the time, it seemed to be very obvious what had happened. And the thing that stuck out to a lot of people, especially black people, was that these were black officers who did this to Tyree. It just seemed unconscionable for them to just brutalize this man in such a way. Now, we know some cops can get out of hand and do certain things, but when you see black officers beating somebody this way, it just is different. It's very much different. And it takes you back to I was a kid at the time, but it was the what is his name? Rodney King, the Rodney King beating. So when you see the Rodney King beating and you see this, you kind of see the same type of situation. I do. You know, other people older than me, they may say, "Oh, it's not the same," but maybe it's just my imagination as a kid and seeing that. But to me, it seemed to be the very much so the same.
Jury of your peers have found you not guilty on all charges with these matters.
A Tennessee state jury acquitted three former Memphis police officers of all charges in the 2023 beating death of black motorist Tyre Nichols on Wednesday. It's a case that sparked nationwide protests and renewed calls for police reform in the U.S., echoing outrage over cases like George Floyd's. The officers faced charges including second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and oppression. 5 officers were involved in the brutal incident that led to Nichols' death, but only 3, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, faced charges in this case. Last year, in a separate federal trial, they got a mixed verdict, cleared of serious charges but convicted of witness tampering. Haley was found guilty on 2 counts of deprivations of rights resulting in bodily injury, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. The other 2 officers had pleaded guilty to federal charges and avoided trial. All were fired by the Memphis Police Department.
That's crazy. They all got fired, which means they obviously knew that they did something wrong. But you would think that they would accuse them of at least lesser charges, like most of the time they do. They knock it down for murder or whatever the charge is. They always knock the charge down. But y'all see the play. The play was them to drag this out. Hopefully everybody kind of forgot about it. And then they acquit him. It's just devastating to know. I'm sure this family is very upset. I think they just walked out of the courtroom. They didn't speak to anybody. They didn't speak to the press or anybody like that. But for them to sit there and watch these 3 men get acquitted, it has to be just, it's just wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what he did. It was no reason to beat Tyre Nichols the way that they beat him. I think it was even reports about him having some dealings with this guy's girlfriend or something. Now I don't know if they ever debunked that or not. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know in the comments, but I don't know if they ever debunked that or not. But it just seems like it was a certain level of vitriol that they had towards this man. You say, I think they say he was running away, but still, that was different. When usually a guy runs away and those cops are mad, maybe they punch him or something one or two times. They were like holding him up for other officers to take shots. He's swinging on him. Like, who does that? It was all on tape. I guess they thought they weren't on tape. I think some of them had body cam, but you know how the body cam footage is. But it was actually like a camera on a pole. And I can't show it for obvious reasons on YouTube. I mean, if you want to see it, I'm pretty sure it's on X. There may be certain clips, that you can see, but ridiculous, man.
A January
See, look
2023
how they
police
beating him.
video shows the 5 policemen kicking,
Mace.
punching, pepper spraying, and beating Nichols with a baton as he called for his mother. The 29-year-old father, photographer, and skateboarder was pulled over near his home and died in the hospital 3 days later. Civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, representing Nichols' family, called the verdict a devastating miscarriage of justice, noting the brutal assault was on video, yet the officers walked free. Defense lawyers argued Nichols was pulled over for reckless driving and provoked violence by fleeing, forcing officers to make split-second decisions. The 2 officers who already pleaded guilty to federal charges testified against their former colleagues last year. They have yet to be sentenced, but secured plea deals capping their terms at 40 and 15 years respectively. Wednesday's verdict comes days after U.S. President Donald Trump signed a 15-year. They have yet to be sentenced guilty to federal charges testified against their former colleagues. The 2 officers who already pleaded guilty to federal charges testified against their former colleagues last year.
Wow. Now that's going to be something. The 2 who already pleaded guilty testified against their former colleagues last year. How much you want to bet they go to jail? Probably because they broke that blue wall of silence. Now I bet they're gonna get some time, a lot of time. The ones who pleaded not guilty finna walk free. Well, did walk free.
They have yet to be sentenced, but secured plea deals capping their terms at 40 and 15 years respectively.
Capping their time at 40 and 15 years respectfully. That sounds like some BS. The 2 who took the plea because they knew they did something wrong, and the ones who said that they not guilty got away. And then they testified against their former colleagues. That is wild.
Respectively. Wednesday's verdict comes days after U.S. President Donald Trump signed an order backing law enforcement, calling for a review of police reforms and condemning efforts to, quote, demonize officers.
Officers shouldn't be demonized. He's absolutely right, though. Because all cops ain't bad. All cops ain't good either. But these were bad cops. Bad cops. I'm just shocked that part kind of caught me off guard when they said that the other 2 are facing 40 and 15 years respectfully. And they took the plea deal. The other guy said not guilty and got off. How do you get off on video like that? That's what I want to know. When it comes to video footage like that, how do you get off? It's that blue wall of silence. See, you got black people who get enraged about what the cops and stuff is doing. Why aren't they enraged about this? This should be one of those things that they should be pissed about because you got black officers who actually committed this crime against another black individual. That's even worse. See, that's the type of stuff that I pay attention to. The stuff that we can control, that's what I pay attention to. When people go out and commit stupid crimes and then something happens to them, those are the ones I pay attention to because I'm like, you could have prevented this yourself. But now if it had been a white cop and he got away with it, they'd be all over this case. It'd be all over the internet. Everybody would have an opinion. It would be videos galore talking about it. This was a prominent case as well, except it was black officers. Now they silent. I haven't seen no Twitter spaces. I've seen a couple of posts, but they just went past it. If it would have been white officers that we need to do something. This is what they do. It need to be an eye for an eye. See, what we can control, they don't care about. That's the truth. They're not the victim. You can't be the victim in this case. So let's skirt past this one. We can. I mentioned it, but we're gonna skirt past this one. I have to be. It has to be black on white, and I have to be the victim. People can't grift off of it. They should be donating to the Nichols family right now, just because. But they won't. They don't even care. Wow. This is one of them stories to me. It just doesn't make any sense when you got these officers, black officers that committed a crime against another black individual, and then I don't see enough black people outraged as I thought that they would be. Which lets me know that they just pick and choose when to be outraged. I'll never understand it. Like I said, if it was some white officers, they'd have a field day. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this case in the comments. If I missed anything, let me know about that as well. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the like button on your way out if you didn't hit it on your way in, because it always helps out my algorithm. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.